coming in. You are going to really value these next 30 minutes. Welcome to Activate Your Business with Active Nutrition. I am thrilled that you're here, and I know you will find this extremely valuable. My name is Stefanie Myers, and I'm with the U.S. sales team. We have two beautiful and incredible and talented women who are going to be sharing with you what they do with their business, their customers, and their everyday lifestyle so you can implement some nuggets into your business too. First is Arabelle. She is from the United States and lives in California. She has been with the company since 2013. Yay, that's awesome. And she really wants you to understand her motto. Learn how to think, not just what to think. She's going to go through and deep dive you into those processes and how to make it your lifestyle because she's a health enthusiast. Second, we have Amy. Amy is from Canada, and she has been with the business for 13 years. Yay! Another great tenure. And she is a mom extraordinaire because she has encompassed this into her lifestyle with her family and how to be showing that this is part of her lifestyle because she's a holistic health coach, and she truly believes that your body is a miraculous vehicle to get you to do things and to live the life you want to. So let's welcome these two amazing women to the platform.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that introduction. Well, I'm going to start off today by talking about FOMO. And what is FOMO? Fear of missing out, right? But what it really is, it's the what's in it for me and what am I missing out on? When we think about USANA on the surface, we may naturally resort to the business or the products. But when we understand that these are just tools, nonetheless, they're very good ones that we use to create health and live life by design. There's more meaning there, and we get to dive deeper because they revolve around health and freedom, and both have everything to do with life. Now, that could translate to anything. For some people, it's being able to provide and serve and contribute for their families or grow their spheres of influence. For others, it's being able to start something new, travel, or even play a sport well into adulthood. Whatever that is, it's imagined to deliver an extra level of happiness in their lives. And as Lee Hunt once said, the basis for all happiness is good health. Please remember that when you have these so very important conversations, consultations, even direct messages when delivering the USANA message. It's about what else is out there for them and why the investment in themselves, whether it's the business or maintaining optimal health, is a key role to getting there. So how do we capture attention? Let's use social media in ways to create energy around what it's like to live life in a day in your shoes. I watched a movie called Hitch with Will Smith. You guys have probably seen it. And he said, most people don't know what they want until it's in front of them. It's kind of like walking into a steakhouse in the mood for a filet, but then you see the server walk by with a ribeye and all of a sudden you find yourself ordering that instead. So use social media, 1, to be relatable, 2, show your followers what intentional living is and how that benefits you, and 3, how USANA products serve as excellent tools to achieve that daily. Now, let's use hacks as a fun title to create these the energy around social media, because biohacking seems to be the term for this these days, but all it basically does is give you an opportunity to showcase ways you create health. Amy and I recently did an Instagram reel, which we will share with you at the end of this presentation. But here's how we suggest you can approach it. If you're an active mom, what does that look like? If you're an avid bike rider, what does that look like? Do you travel a lot? What are your top 5 hacks to prepare for safe and healthy traveling? How do you execute? Why is that important? And in an Instagram reel, it's all done in 30 seconds. So now here's where the marketing excitement comes in. Once your audience has seen your reel and can reconnect how the tools contribute to a good day, go in for the ask. If it makes sense up to this point and you've done well at delivering value, the only right thing left to do is offer the sale. Don't you want to be able to share that kind of access and opportunity to all the pairs of eyes that are watching? But now, how can we do that with a sense of organization and drive that engagement to some kind of challenge? Here is where Amy comes in. Amy?
Thank you so much, Arabelle. I love what you just shared about FOMO. This is a really important topic, and you are here today watching this video to activate your business with active nutrition, and we thought what better way than to help you by encouraging you to use these reels and hacks and to create a challenge. So I'm excited to talk with you about setting up that challenge. And the first component is keeping focused. Now, there's a lot going on. So what I mean by keeping focused is really having a plan and staying organized as you put this challenge into action. So number one, I would encourage you to think about your target audience. Who are the people that you serve? Who are the people that you connect with the most? And the hacks that you've already been doing for moms or gardeners or bikers, can you make a challenge using the things that you've already been doing or starting fresh after this presentation? Now, I want you to think about, with your challenge, do other members of your team share a similar target audience? This is really important because if they do, there's a great opportunity for you to work together and divide and conquer in the tasks of setting up the challenge. But there is an excellent learning opportunity, my friends, for your team members who have a different target audience than you. You can encourage and inspire them to take the leadership action and create their own challenge with these steps. Now, below this video, you will find some handy resources for you. A checklist of things to check off to set this challenge up, as well as some brainstorming questions. One being, after you've figured out your target audience of who you want to serve, the next one would be, will you share the information about your challenge in a webinar or in a Facebook Live? Now, the cool part is, my friends, if you have a Zoom account through USANA, we're so lucky. If you have one of those, you can actually put your webinar right on Facebook Live in a group or a page right away. So excellent opportunity to do two things at one time, but it's up to you. Now, thinking about that Facebook Live or webinar that you're going to host, it's an opportunity for us to go deeper on some of those hacks that we've been sharing. Now, we don't want to give away the whole farm, right? But we want to go deeper so that people know they are getting something out of that webinar that you're hosting, right? What's in it for me is always the question people are asking. So let's give them that additional content, and it's an opportunity then in that webinar or live to share more info about the challenge. And the challenge is actually holding people accountable to taking action on these hacks or these things that you're teaching. That's what the challenge is all about. It's getting these people who are pumped up to watch your information to actually take action. So thinking about your setting up process, the other tip that I wanted to give you is sometimes we can find ourselves spending a little bit too much time, things on setting up your Facebook group, maybe finding the perfect photo. My friends, this is not a great use of our time. I've given you some tips in that handout there. But what I would say is where we want to spend our time, as we already know, the income generating activity is inviting, right? We want to invite to that webinar or Facebook Live. We want to fill that space with as many people as we can serve as possible so that they can hear the message of the hacks or the information you're going to share for your challenge, in addition to this amazing challenge you are going to host. And then you're going to use these really important marketing tools that Arabelle just told us and taught us to let them know that there's limited time. Let's register now. You're excited. You're watching this webinar, this live right now. It's your opportunity to take action. So you get to use those tips that Arabelle taught right away. Next, I'm so excited to talk about the learning the features and benefits portion of your webinar. My friends, we know that stories sell, right? We know how important this is. So the tips that I have for you start with really getting clear for yourself on which products actually align to the challenge that you're hosting, and how have those products changed your own life, helped you in some way, made your life easier. Think about that story for yourself. Make some notes on that. And then I want to invite you to go to the hub and read the information in the media center about those products that you're going to be sharing. You can go make your direct link at the same time. And I want you to find the actual features and benefits that are listed there for those products, because those are the ones that we are allowed to say. And I want to encourage you to find the synergy between your story and the features and benefits that are written there for us to share. And then I want you to write it down. I know I'm so old school, right? I want you to write the story down, and then I want you to practice the story. Practice it in front of the mirror, practice it in front of the fireplace, practice it in front of your family, your team, practice it. Because one thing that I've seen for people who are nervous speaking is that the nervousness can take over sometimes. So we want to practice it enough times that the nervousness goes away a bit so we can really come across as our authentic selves. Now, if you want some help in creating your story, some key tips here would be where you were, what happened, what you did, and where you are today. So I'm going to role model this for you. I have 3 kids. We love to go bike riding. We bike ride when it's school time. We bike ride in between classes so I can get them to release some energy and some steam. And when it's summertime, we just go out for lots of bike rides. And I'll be honest with you, I'm the person who brought the fanny pack back. So just saying, no judging. But my fanny pack is real deal, okay? I've got the bike pump, I've got water, I've got my cell phone, I've got Band-Aids, I've got bug spray, I've got sunscreen, and I also pack the peanut butter bar because there is all too often where my kids are like, Mom, I'm hungry. And it's like that cringing sense that I get. But I'm so glad to tell you that the peanut butter bar is a game changer. This product is so delicious, number 1. So my kids actually enjoy eating it. Number 2, it's got fiber, it's got no artificial ingredients, so all of these benefits for them, and so it's healthy too, right? And most important mom point is that it doesn't get squished in the very full fanny pack. Now, my friends, do you see that because I've crafted the story, I went and looked up those features and benefits of that product. I could put those two together, and then I could share it with some humor or some emotion. And that's where people get drawn into our story. So I want to challenge you to practice that story and to time yourself, because we also want to ensure that we're not going on for days and days about a story and people lose interest, right? So let's practice. The next section that I get to talk about is creating a sense of community with your challenge. This is a really key opportunity for us because we get to go deeper with the people that are in our community, in that challenge, to create those strong relationships. And one of the things that I do is I plant that seed of expectation for participation in the group itself. By liking, commenting, we want to educate them on the expectation that they are coming to play full out. We want to start that right away in that first webinar or live to get them to understand that's where they're going to get the most out of this challenge by actually participating as much as possible in the group. We can also create a sense of community with things like prizes. Everybody loves free stuff and prizes, right? So if that's an opportunity that you can integrate into your challenge, I highly encourage it. And then, of course, highlighting people. You may have noticed in Facebook groups that you can actually mark things as an announcement to let other people know something that you're highlighting in the group. Now, I would highly encourage that you do DM your participant first and let them know, ask them that you would like to highlight them in the group because you're so proud of the share that they made or the comment they made, and you want to highlight them to the group. So do ask their permission, but that's a great way. And then the other tip that I have for you to make your challenge easy to follow along with. In Facebook groups, they have this thing called guides. And this is a really helpful tool because sometimes when we're in a Facebook group, things can get lost. But you can actually tag each day with the activities that you want the person to take in that challenge, so that if they want to go back to something, or you want to highlight and go back and say, I want you to go see what you wrote on day 3, they can easily click in the guides section and go to day 3. I highly recommend that. I am so excited to talk with you about the content calendar. One of the reasons why we wanted to highlight this is because there is some work associated with setting up a challenge, but I wanted to reduce the overwhelm, stress, or chaos of setting this up so you have a plan in place. Right now, you may be feeling very excited. There may be ideas flowing to you for this challenge that you could host. And I want you to harness that energy that you have right now by making many notes. Use these resources to get as much energy, as many notes down as possible. Because when you go to set up your plan and actually implement in September or October following this convention, I would encourage you to have as many notes written down so you can actually put yourself back into that same state of energy and state of mind so you can deliver at your highest level for your participants. Now, you'll notice in the content calendar, I want to encourage you to set up your plan backwards, okay? So we're going to actually think about how long is the challenge that you want to host. Do you want to host a 3-day, a 5-day, a 7-day, a 14-day? You get it. It's up to you. And of course, you want to plan accordingly with the amount of products people will need in order for that challenge as well. So think that through. But you plot that into your calendar starting. And then you know that we need to leave about a week or so for that prep week, essentially the week for the products to ship once they're purchased. And then we want to plan above that the webinar or Facebook Live, where you're going to use those call to actions, those marketing tips, those strategies to get people excited and engaged and signing up for your challenge. And then, of course, planning on top of that to start the month, the hacks, the reels, the quotes, the posts that are going to drive that energy and an enthusiasm and engagement to actually get on that webinar or live to learn about this challenge. My friends, we do want to plan it backwards so that you can walk yourself through all of the steps and really think through what your plan will be. Now, I've already mentioned how you're going to tease that out and putting those on the calendar. You're going to use those really helpful tips that Arabelle taught right off the bat. The next component is really thinking about that FOMO you want to create. And how are you going to implement that, not only through the setup time and in the webinar, to really engage people and get them signing up for your challenge. And now I'm so excited to turn it over to Arabelle, because Arabelle has this really awesome way to help explain how the Life Bar impacts our daily life. Take it away, Arabelle.
Thank you, Amy. Just when I thought I had the ultimate fanny pack, I think you're the winner there. So, talking about the Life Bar, I believe one of our greatest keys to building USANA is using the right language. One of the best analogies I like to use to help customers put a vision on how to create health is by using the Life Bar analogy. So, do you remember ever playing a game called Street Fighter or Halo, where your character has a life bar, and every time your character was struck, the life bar would decrease and reduce until basically your character had to start over again? Now, take that. Now I want you to imagine that you have a life bar every morning, but it starts at 0. But with every mindful decision that you make, it would add life. So when building up the Life Bar, we need tools. Just how we need tools to solve everyday problems. We use a car to get around. We use books for information. We subscribe to personal training, for fitness coaching. Well, we can use the Active Nutrition line and all of the USANA products to help build that Life Bar up. For example, you wake up, drink water, have a detox tea, your Life Bar just went up. You have a good bowel movement, you have some sunshine, listen to a podcast, your Life Bar goes up even higher. You take your vitamins, you have a Nutrimil Active Shake, your Life Bar just went up even higher. So that by the time lunch comes around and you decide to have a slice of pizza, a latte, or a bag of chips, your Life Bar may go down, but at least you're not starting the day off negative. But The reality for some people is that they are starting off with a negative life bar by having highly processed, high sugar food, or maybe they don't get very restful sleep. Maybe their first thoughts are super stressful. Perhaps they're indoors all day long with not much exposure to sunlight or fresh air. Now, I get it. It's okay to have some days like that. But when you're living most of them that way, well, how do you think that's going to affect your life bar? What if that goes on for years? So the life bar analogy makes it fun to understand how to have control of our mindful decisions because it makes it into a game. Now, let's talk about their why, because this is what takes it further. And that's the part that's going to fuel the actions taken to build the life bar. And then when it all comes down to when the why is clear, the how becomes easy. Knowing your prospects' reasons for investing in their health is very important. So revisit this often and tie it into why doing the most impactful things daily is what matters most. So what would it mean if they reach their goal? What would that look like? How would that even feel? Who would benefit from those things? And then ask the opposite. And what if they didn't? A powerful why should be fueled by passion. And in a lot of cases, it's not very extravagant either. A few years back, I did a home presentation for one of my associates, and one of the guests stopped me in the middle of what I was saying and said, "Wow, you just sound so lit up by this." And my reply to him was, "Well, I don't know if I'll ever see you again after today. And if I only have this time to share with you what I believe is to be some of the most valuable insight on health there is out there, then I take that time very seriously. I need you to know that this has the power to change lives as you see it did mine in a very unique way. So I care that that kind of energy is available to those who are seeking it and to those who may not even know it exists. That's why I'm here." So let's take it further to solving the needs and concerns for people. As associates, people need you. We're here to educate and inspire. Our lifestyle and message is needed now more than ever. We have people we care so deeply for that may be inundated with negativity, drowning in loneliness, and becoming frail as each day goes by. However, that should tell us that they could be seeking inspiration, craving connection, looking for good energy to be around, and listening for a voice of positivity and reassurance. Are you ready to deliver? Are you ready to deliver the right amount of understanding, education, and perhaps maybe even a little bit of tough love? Be ready. Creating health from a holistic approach requires us to understand what our customer wants to achieve, suggesting what healthy habits to start building, and recommending the right products to support their goals. Something tangible that may help here is using the product recommendation tool to find out what package we can put together for them. For example, the digestion line is something I usually find almost 90% of customers can use to support a functioning digestive system. That may include Nutrimeal Active, Fiber G, and probiotics, and not to mention my favorite, the digestive enzymes. So once they've got their package and their lifestyle plan, putting it all together and using the active nutrition line is how they're going to stack conditions in their favor. I get excited over that. I love that. Many of us plan for a vacation or an event way in advance. We make the time to sit down, we visualize the outcome we desire, we order the gear that we need, reserve space, book the help. Maybe we even create some of the props ourselves, all because we want the experience to result in a certain way. The good news is we can do this with our health. We can design and stack it in a way where our habits and lifestyle heavily influence the level of wellness we have. Hence, refer back to the good old life bar. So, be excited that you've got top products like the electrolytes, Fiber G Active, digestive health protein drinks to offer those looking to live a high quality life. And all from you. Amy, you want to take us to where we are with focusing on our target audience?
Yes, thank you so much, Arabelle. I love how you are pointing out how important every single associate is. I love that they matter, and reaching out to people, helping them. This is such important work, and we're so lucky to be with you, Sana. Thank you so much, Arabelle, for sharing that. It really touched my heart. So we are in the closing phase of our time here together, and I wanted to focus you as we wrap up here. Have you figured out your target audience? Who are the people who like and comment on your posts, who are paying attention to what you're doing, who maybe just talk to you about what you're doing on social media, but they're too shy to actually comment? My friends, these are the people, all of these people are the people that we want to invite to that webinar and invite to be a part of our challenge, so we can deepen that relationship, so we can serve them, so we can help them with health. Now, the big question of the day is, would you participate in your challenge? Would you? Have you made it fun? Have you infused some energy through the duration of your challenge? That's why we want to have that plan, so that you can show up fully when you are implementing it. Have you infused it with fun? Would you participate? And then, of course, we have the FOMO to auto order, fear of missing out. Now, what they have started creating in that challenge is the beginning of a positive health habit. And you have the opportunity in your challenge to then start educating and using those FOMO tactics that Arabelle taught to actually encourage people to continue building on these amazing habits that they've started. Now, when I talk about auto order, there are 3 things I always talk about. Number 1, it saves you time. You do not need to run to the store when something has run out. It ships right to you. Talk about awesome. Number 2, you save money. Everybody loves to save money, right? But they're saving money on these incredible products, so that makes it even more awesome. And then number 3, and I think that this is one that I personally highlight a lot, is it saves brain power. What do I mean by that? You get an email before your auto order processes to remind you that your products are running out. Now, this is an amazing tool, I think, that is quite underrated. I love it because it takes that pressure off of having to remember that your products are running out. How often do we fall out of habit of something simply because something at home ran out and we just forgot because life got busy? I'm sure we could all put our hands up for that. So, encouraging people and letting them know they're going to get that email before anything ever ships to take the pressure off so that they can keep on working on building on this habit. And that's where consistency comes. That they actually can continue to be consistent with these incredible things that they've already started out with. You know, active nutrition takes the holistic approach. And I wanted to wrap up this section with reminding you that when you're putting your challenge together, yes, we are talking about these amazing products and we are encouraging that habit to be created. But in addition to those products, you're also taking the opportunity to actually help them in other ways. It's the holistic approach. So you can add in memes, you can add in articles that have helped you, you can add in quotes. All of these things make that holistic approach as part of your challenge. So I want to leave you with that note and hand it over to Arabelle to wrap it up.
You know what? I love that, Amy, because I think when a customer really starts to see the value of auto order, that's when they start building consistency. And consistency is what really drives results. Because when all that's left is to use the products, then momentum starts to really build. And I love seeing our customers and our clients win. Also, auto order is the cornerstone of our businesses. So to convert those exposures to repeat orders is the ultimate business goal. So again, Amy and I have done a lot of talking today and sharing of tips to build with Active Nutrition Line. But I think it's time to share our Instagram reels that we promised you would earlier. So we hope that these reels inspire you to create your energetic ways of sharing your lifestyle and USANA products on social media and beyond. Here are the reels. Enjoy the rest of convention.
do you feel like you're going to take away? What are you going to implement into your events, online or in person? Do you feel like you have some things that you're just going to be like, oh, those are good nuggets. I'm going to keep those in the forefront of my mind. My favorite one was, if I'm planning this, if I'm creating this FOMO, if I'm trying to build up people's life bar, is it something that I would be interested in too? Because if I'm not interested and I don't think it's going to be helpful, why would they be interested too? So always keep that in your mind. And I think that was so good that they brought that to the forefront of our mind. Arabelle and Amy, you guys rocked it. Thank you for sharing selflessly. Thank you for giving to everyone. And thank you guys for all the great examples. You guys are rock stars. Thank you. Have a good one.